really want to welcome Michelle Storyteller, her alias name. Actually, it's Michelle John. She is a musical artist, and she's been that for a number of years. I'm going to let her tell you a bit more about what she does, her story, and I had a conversation with her a couple of days ago, and she was so willing and kind to come on this platform this morning. And I think her story is very useful. She does some amazing philanthropic work, but she also has delivered from a musical expression at the highest level. Name the artist, the top level artist, the chances are she's performed and sung with them. But she's also done her own project. I don't want to steal her thunder because I'm sure she can explain those things a bit better. But at some point during I'm going to give Michelle 20 minutes to just talk. And then if she feels like she wants some interactions, Michelle, just demand it from us and we can share with you your thoughts. And but the conversation that I find stimulating is moving from pain to authenticity. And I would like to hear her take on that, what that means to her, and I'm sure it's going to be useful to us. So can we be kind enough and give her some thumbs up and welcome her to the Wellbeing Cafe? Michelle John.
Good morning, everybody. Have you got me, Mike? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so as Mike said, my name is Michelle John. I am a singer, a music artist, and basically to take it back to the beginning, growing up in South London, being a mixed race girl in a black family. And I mention that because that has been something that has been one of the points of pain in my journey. So I grew up going to a black church, a Pentecostal church, as a child. At the church, I acquired the label of the white girl that can sing. That was enough. You know how life has a way of like dishing out these labels to you, right? So that was one of my labels that I acquired. And I grew up in a household where there was a lot of abuse. And so the soundtrack in my home was domestic violence. My mum raised 4 of us by herself. So these are the kind of the soundtracks that kind of colored my life in a lot of ways. My gift of singing was always something that I just had. It was not something that anyone taught me. It was just something that I had. So that was my point of release, if you like. It was just the one thing that I could do without thinking, or it just made me feel good. Really, it was just that simple. It just made me feel good. It made me feel free. It made me, and growing up, it became part of my identity, and a positive part of my identity. So I had all these other labels that were painful, and that was like the one label with a little sunshine sticker on it. Do you know what I mean? And so just really by accident, just singing at my church, my songs of praise came and filmed at my church when I was about 14 or 15. And I was asked to sing a solo, and I was always one of these people that was just pulled out. I never thought I was that person. I never volunteered. It was always something that was I was just pulled out. And songs of praise came, and I sang a song. And back in the day, I don't want to say how old I am, but back in the day, they used to repeat songs of praise at 2 o'clock in the morning on, I think, like BBC Two on a Sunday night. And it just so happened that a producer was watching, turned on the TV, had come in from a club, turned on the TV and heard me. There was me singing in my choir robe on songs of praise. And he got in touch with the BBC and said, I need that girl to come and sing on a track. And so that was kind of my first entry into the world of professional singing. I later on became a member of the London Community Gospel Choir. Basil Mead saw me singing at a concert in a church somewhere. and poached me, and I became a part of the London Community Gospel Choir. Somewhere along the way there, I met Mike Kelly at a gospel concert and conventions, churches, and da 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 da. So Mike has been like a big brother in my life for quite a long time. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here today, because of my love and respect for him. So along the way, I kind of repeated the pattern, and I guess developed the soundtrack further in my own life. And I ended up in a relationship where I myself experienced domestic violence. And I guess when we talk about authenticity, and to me, authenticity is about the realness, the real core of who you are, the real core of your character, the realness, the real core of your spirit, not what you put out in the world, not the things that you say, but what you really believe in your core. That is your authenticity. And I believe that whatever that thing is that you believe about yourself is what becomes manifest, what becomes fruit in your life, what shows up in your life. You confirm what you truly believe, what your authenticity is in your life. Does that make sense, Mike? Yes. Shall I carry on?
Yeah, please carry on. You're in a good vein.
Yeah. So again, I believe that authenticity doesn't lie. And what do I mean by that? Again, I can say things about myself, and I can paint a picture of myself today, and I can say, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and I believe this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. But what I truly believe in my core, the authentic thoughts, the authentic belief that I have, is what's going to show out in my life. That's what I believe. So I believe authenticity doesn't lie. So for me, I confirmed the authenticity that I believed about myself for many years, because I believed, because of my past, because of the things I'd experienced as a child, as a young woman, that I was unworthy. I carried the pain of, abuse, the pain of rejection, the pain of struggle, whether it was growing up through poverty. So all of those things became the real authentic belief that I carried about myself. Does that make sense, guys? Just give me a nod if you understand what I'm saying. So again, because of what I believed about myself, those were the things that I was bearing in my life. The relationship that I was in confirmed what I believed about myself. Does that make sense? Yeah. The way that I allowed people to treat me in the business, in terms of in the music world, I knew I could do. I don't know how I knew what to do. I knew I didn't know all the terminologies when they're like, okay, Michelle, can you do a glissando? And I'm in the studio with Dr. Dre, and he's like, can you do that, a glissando on the thing? I don't know what a glissando is. And he says, well, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that is. I didn't know what the terminology was, but I just knew how to do it. And again, I felt because I didn't go to the right schools, I didn't grow up in the right area, I never went to university, no one invested in me. I just felt like me being where I was just an accident. And as soon as anybody kind of knew the truth of who I was, that would change, it would go, it would disappear. So, sometimes you're there and you're waiting, for something to happen to confirm why you shouldn't be there. So that was my authenticity. I was living it. I was breathing it, even though doors were opening, and I would say God was opening doors for me and trying to say, girlfriend, look where you are. Look who you are. Look where I put you. You're here. You're on stage right now with 60,000 people, with the best in the world. But I was relaying back to the information that I had gathered as a child, as a young woman, that I wasn't worthy. So that's what I was showing out. So this went on and went on and went on and went on. And I got to a point, and maybe this is where maturity comes in, and we start to, we have people like Dr. Mike in our life, and other friends and information, and we read materials, and we have conversations like this. And I started to really, and counseling, thank God for counseling, thank God for therapy, started to really start to investigate and find out the truth about who I am. Who am I? What do I believe about myself? What is the real Michelle? If I take away all the things that people have told me that I am, and what circumstance or what experience has told me that I am, but actually, okay, put that away to one side. Without all of that, who am I? Because now I'm living off of the information that I gathered from that experience, not my own authenticness. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm working off of circumstantial incidents, experience. They are my information. They've told me about my authenticity. I need to find the authenticity of who I am without all of that stuff, beyond all of that stuff. So that was the journey that I started to embark on. And so I decided that I didn't want to live my life and being led, holding the lead and being led by my pain. Who wants to live like that? That's not living, that's survival. I grew up in a household, my mum was a survivor. I believe survival is a mindset. I don't want to survive, I want to thrive. I want to live. I want to be here. I want to be in this moment. I want to receive in this moment. I want to learn in this moment. I don't want that old information to color my thinking and guide me. So that's, to me now, where this stage of my life is about me becoming and owning and actually even finding out and growing in my own authenticity. If anybody agrees with me, say amen. Mike, I can see you're like itching to say something. Help me, bro.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how easy or how difficult was it to shift those perspectives? Because in our previous sessions, everyone who's been in our sessions for the last 6 sessions should be able to tell you about the state of mind and where that fear-based system was rooted,
Yeah.
versus that very articulate, conscious decisions and reflections and the space in between. How did you navigate those spaces, and was it an easy thing to just say, right, I'm not doing that no more, I'm now becoming that, or was it a long process?
It's still a process, and I think again it's a decision. And I think it's about creating a new normal for yourself. We're hearing that catchphrase a lot, but it's a new normal. There are things that we all have, things that trigger us, and it brings up a certain response. When we're in certain social circles, like in our family, there's a dynamic in our family, and you find you talk a certain way, you behave a certain way, right? Because it's comfortable, it's what you know. And sometimes it's about reprogramming and creating a new normal for yourself. So for me, when some of that old dialogue would come up of, well, Michelle, you don't deserve to be singing at that place because you're the no, I ain't got time for that today. I literally have to shut it down in my mind and say, I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. I'm going to stay focused on, and it's a daily reinforcement. It's a absolute reprogramming of what I knew, and teaching myself a new normal, a new language, a new dialogue, a new thought process, a new behavior pattern. I mean, it has to happen in every area, I think, of your life.
So Michelle, I mean, I'm not saying this is the biggest part or the most important part, but I think it would be nice to highlight some of the big accomplishments you've done.
Okay.
Because they must have been, it could be overshadowing to the little me experience.
Yeah.
And, and it could be something that could be overwhelming. But yet you had to still function and perform at that level. So could you give us some ideas of where you've had to do that?
Well, as I said, like, I ended up in the music industry by accident. And again, I I've spent 15 years on tour with Eric Clapton. You know, the limousine would pick me up outside my house, and I'd be on the private jet, and I would stay in the best hotels, and I would be there thinking, oh my gosh, I don't deserve to be here. I'm not qualified. I don't, do you know what I mean? I worked with Mariah Carey. I worked with Celine Dion. I worked with Mary J. Blige, Tony Braxton. I mean, I could go on. And that's not me brag. That's just the truth. And even now, it's a fight for me to go authentically. I did it without me trying to dumb it down or apologize or explain or normalize myself. Do you know what I mean? And that is still some of the work I'm doing, being my authentic self, because hey, my gift put me in that room with Mariah Carey. How about that? How about just celebrate it for a moment, relax. And that's me still doing the work.
So do you still get stage fright?
The truth of it is no. But if there's something that I don't feel prepared for, I haven't done my preparation, my due diligence, then the voices come up and go, who do you think you are? You haven't rehearsed, do you know what I mean? So I don't get stage fright as long as I do my preparation.
Excellent. All right.
That's my authenticity, that's my honesty.
So tell me a bit more about your future. What do you see down the road for you? What are you working on? What are you thinking?
Okay, so in this lockdown, let's start there. In the lockdown, before lockdown, like everybody, we all had all kinds of magnificent plans, right? So my plan that I was going to do this album, and I had the finance all lined up. It was going to be amazing. And then lockdown came. And one of the things, and you asked this a bit earlier, Mike, one of the things that lockdown has helped me to appreciate is stillness. And just take that time of quiet, because I'm so used to being on the go and traveling and preparing for this gig and in this studio, and the stillness and thinking, just checking in with myself. What am I really thinking? What am I really thinking about myself? What do I need to put some time into? Where do I need to align my thoughts? Where's there a block in the system? So I've really appreciated that in the lockdown. So I decided, and maybe again, this is my faith, for people of faith, and I can get like this, and maybe this is me being a girl from Peckham, growing up on the council estate, being a fighter. But I decided that COVID-19 was not going to destroy all my plans and my vision for myself. So I decided I'm just going to find another way. So I decided to do a GoFundMe. And in the last few weeks, we've recorded the album. The album is finished. It's in the mix stage right now. It's being mastered, and I'm just going forward. So I just found another way.
So tell us a bit more about the album. What is it?
So the album is called the Diva Songbook. So it's all, it's called the Diva Songbook Through the Storm. And it's basically songs to bring you through the storms of your life. It's all positive, uplifting songs that are just gonna make you just feel like, you know what, I can do this. I can face tomorrow. I can deal with I'm gonna come through this some way, somehow. So all the songs have been selected by myself, and they're just to bring you through whatever storm you're going through.
Brilliant.
Simple.
So Michelle, tell me a bit more about, once this album's done, it's released and it's #1 in the charts.
Yeah.
What next for Michelle? Who are you? Who have you become?
Do you know what? I just believe that my voice, my vibration is unique to me. And so I'm just going to keep putting out my vibration in whatever way that I choose to do it, whether that's on my online platform, whether it's out on my talk thing that I do, whether that's in my music. And I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share my journey. I'm going to sing the songs. and I'm just going to be the most authenticest version of myself, and just use everything that God's given me. I want to use it all up.
So, final question before I open up to others is,
Yes.
you mentioned your belief or your faith. What does spirituality, how does that help you? Or does it help you?
Spirituality, again, I prefer to say faith, and maybe that's just me being, we all have our little words that we feel comfortable with. My faith is is my anchor. And you know, we talk about all these things, authenticity, and about our minds and our mindset. Well, if I bring it back round to my faith, and all of that is true, and I embrace it all, and I bring it back round to my faith, and my faith says, hey, as a man thinks, so is he. So it reinforces all the things that we believe from all these other external places. But for me, my faith is my anchor. Is that short and sweet and sharp? Does that answer the question, Mike?
Yeah, it's good. Well done. Thank you. So thanks, Michelle. You know, you said something about singing through your pain.
Yes.
And we had Madhu on last week talking about dancing.
Okay.
So, you know, there's singing and dancing, and some of us do a lot of acting.
Yes.
We could open up a school of performing arts. But
Yeah.
no, in all seriousness, that well-being therapy through song,
Yes.
is it through, how does that help you? I mean, is it just because it's a scientific thing, or are you reminiscing on the words? Are you, you know, how does singing help an individual?
Well, even in this COVID, right? We've had people that have put out all these charity singles. We've had, you know, the lovely Captain Sir Tom singing "We'll Never Walk Alone," and for, you know, for anybody who might not like the song, but it has some kind of symbolism, and because of who's singing it, and because we know his age, and it's all of that comes into, that brings the song into life. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the power of music, that I could take a song and I could put my pain, my color, my expression, my sound into it, and it becomes this picture. And Habida can sing it in a completely different way, and it becomes another amazing picture that will connect to someone. But someone will connect to, whether it's the pain, whether it's the story, whether it's the note that I hit that makes that person go, oh my gosh. Do you know what I mean? So I think singing is just, it's a spiritual thing. It's more than just the sound. It's a spiritual thing.
Excellent. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Michelle. Let me give you some hand claps.
Hey,
I like what you've said. It's a
thank
good
you guys.
platform to have a conversation, and it is absolutely in line with what we've been discussing over the last 5 months. So we're going to open this up, and I would love if someone will be kind enough to ask Michelle some questions, or if there's something that she struck a chord with in your own life, and there's some congruence there. Let's have this conversation now. So, who would like to go first? I'm going to do that one again. If anyone would like to speak, let's go.
How was it like singing with Celine Dion? Celine Dion is a legend. She's a master crafts person, and I just took the experience as me being in a masterclass. And all the people that I've worked with, I I I decided that I was going to just be like a sponge and learn and glean. So she, as I said, she's just a phenomenal singer and a wonderful woman.
Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
Hi, Ricky. Good morning.
There's something you mentioned as you were speaking, and it sort of really jumped out and spoke volumes to me, particularly in a time where we've all been probably more busier than we will admit. But you mentioned
Yes.
something about slowing down and stillness and thought. Could you kind of unpack that a little bit for us, and maybe just share a little bit about what that practice actually looks like? What's some of the things that you actually did to help you to shift gears from the activity to going into that space where you were slowing down and becoming perhaps a bit more meditative. What did that look like for you?
Well, I think I was one of those people that was guilty of being busy. And sometimes we're so busy, but we're not really being productive. Do you know what I mean? And we're kind of running ourselves ragged because we think if we're busy, we're doing something, we're progressing, and that's not always the truth. And so in my slowing down, I thought it was important for me to get centered and for me to create some silence to listen to myself. And so what that looked like for me was turning off the phone, turning off the TV, shutting away, lighting some candles, putting on some music that I love, and just being quiet, being meditating on myself, listening to my breathing, and thoughts would come, and just allowing myself to flow in that, without giving myself an agenda. Do you know what I mean? Right, I need to think about, right, what am I doing with the album? No, you know what? Right now it's about listening. And I'm hearing myself going, can I do this? Okay, yes, I can. How can I do this? And then, do you understand? So allowing whatever was coming up in me, allowing it to come up and embrace it and go, okay, I know that you feel that maybe you can't take this all on, but what can you do? Let's look at it. And what I've learned as well, Ricky, in this time is to speak nicely to myself. I speak to myself nicely. And so when I feel myself getting frustrated or getting, concerned about things, I'm one of those people, I'm like, come on, you can do it. And I thought, no. I need to be gentle with myself because I felt during this period, I've not always felt strong. Sometimes I've felt very fragile. And so I've spoken to myself kindly and gently, and I've been kind to myself. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your insight and experience into how you've been, I guess for a better expression, coping and transforming how you've been doing things. May I just ask one last thing, just on the back of that, and just not take up too much time, has that now become part of your daily practice?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely every few days I have to check in with myself. And what that looks like for me now is sometimes coming out of my home, which is also because it's my workspace as well. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes detaching, going for a walk early in the morning and just saying, okay, how am I? All right, okay. Do you know what I mean? And making that time again to breathe. I don't know, I found myself doing lots of breathing, inhaling, exhaling, and just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but I've just found real value in just breathing.
Michelle, thank you. It's really insightful.
Thank
Particularly
you.
your point on loving you, speaking nicely to yourself as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Doesn't it sound as if Michelle's been in all of our sessions? Ricky talked about slowing down previously and about breathing.
Really?
And in most sessions I say be kind to yourself. So it sounds as if it's a rhythm of that realm of a frequency that we've tapped into. So thanks, Michelle.
I heard someone say, Mike, that speak to yourself how you would speak to your best friend. You know how with our closest people, we have got patience, we're loving, we're kind, we're encouraging. Even if we don't agree, we're still like, don't worry, you'll get through it. And sometimes that's how we need to treat ourselves and speak to ourselves.
Excellent. Thank you, Michelle. Habida, please go ahead.
Hey, Michelle.
Hello, gorgeous.
So I just had two questions. Part of my question was you've answered through Ricky's question. But what I'm hearing to ask you, because I think you and I are kind of on the same journey, even we're happy birthdays.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Michelle.
Okay.
How have you handled disappointing people? Because I'm sure in the fact that you've changed and, you know, gone quiet, and all the changes that you've made, you've disappointed the people that are used to you being a certain way. So how did you handle that?
I'm sorry if this sounds a bit cold, but I can either disappoint them or I can disappoint myself. And at this point in my life, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to have to disappoint you in order to protect me and put myself first. You know, someone says, you know, sometimes it makes us feel like we're being selfish, but maybe we're not being selfish. Maybe we're being self-full. And so sometimes I can't keep giving away all my energy, my time, my love to help and support and to do all those things, and I'm lacking. So sometimes you just have to say, with all love and all gentleness and kindness, I'm sorry, but I can't do it. And don't disappoint yourself. And it's not easy. That takes practice, because you feel all the guilt, don't you? You feel guilt. You feel like, you know, you owe people something, and all of the things, all the emotions that come along with that. But I think at this point in my life, personally, I think I owe it to myself to give myself that time, that energy, that love. So I'm going to have to say no, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Did you lose people through it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I guess what? You know, Beyonce has a song, the first time I said no, it's like I never said yes.
Right. I know. So, I love that. Yeah.
Some people, because you've been saying yes to them for years. The first time I've said no, and you're going to treat me as if I've never said yes to you. Do you know what I mean? Well, if you don't understand that for this time, like, even we're having to explain ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it means you can't rock with me, that you can't give me some time for myself, or you can't support me in this time in my life. Okay. God bless you on your journey. With love. I send you with love.
Right. And the second question I had is, how did you get yourself to the point of asking for help? Because you you went, I saw the GoFundMe page and I thought, wow, I've been thinking of doing that for years because of how many times I've had to restart. But you humbled yourself as a celebrity, you know, because there is that connotation of everybody thinks you're in a certain place. Then you asking for help. How did you get your mind around that?
That was many walks just to deal with that. And you know something, I had to put my ego down. And do you know what? Just because I need help, there's no shame in that. Like, how many times have you helped other people? When you're helping them, do you serve them up shame with it? Do you go, I'm helping? We don't do that, do we? You know what I mean? So I just need help at this time. It's just that simple. And if you can help me, thank you. If you can't, sometimes we attach all these emotions, and I was doing that. I was attaching all these emotions to it, going, oh my God, what are people going to say?
Right.
What are they going to think about me? They're going to think that I'm not successful. They're going to think I'm failing. They're going to think I'm struggling. Do you know what? Whatever they think, I'm not responsible for it. Oh my God, that was like 10 tons coming off of my shoulder. So, hey guys, there's a global pandemic going on. I need help. Right. If you can help me, that'd be wonderful. If you can't, no problem. Right. Breathe. You know what I mean? And guess what? People helped me. And you know what was the thing that really, and I feel myself, some people said to me, thank you for asking for help, because I want to help you. It's an honor for me to help you. Do you know what I mean? So I gave somebody by me surrendering, I actually gave somebody the opportunity to do something for me and to love me. How amazing is that?
That is lovely.
You know what's exciting here is the fact that we we've not been allowed to go to live music events. We've not been allowed to do a lot of entertainment things. So people in the theatre industry, live music, restaurant and food industry, people who work in the bowling alleys, people work in ice rinks, concert theatres, they struggled. AV technicians actually may not have been needed. But people still want entertainment.
Yeah.
They still want to muse, to be amused. They want to think about something. And so perhaps that creativity, that agility that you demonstrated in asking for help was at a right time. And people think, well, actually, I would have spent this on some other form of entertainment. Let me put it into that thing. So Michelle, at the end, I'd love to leave, if you could, or at some point, you can just put in the GoFundMe page, and you know, there may be some contributors on here that be
and can I
enough.
say, Mike, just to finish that point for Habida and everyone else, in your own time and in your own reflection, what is you not asking for help? What is that rooted in? Is it rooted in pride? Is it rooted in fear? Or because for me it was, whenever I've asked for help, it's end up costing me more. Someone's taken advantage, or do you see what I mean? So I had to be honest about what is the root of that. Why am I so afraid to ask for help? Do you understand? So I think that would be something that you should, that it's important for us to explore.
Brilliant. Michelle, I've got one more question for you. At the moment, there may be another later, but I'm thinking back to the Little Me album.
Wow.
It was you launching you, and could you just say the words to the chorus of Little Me?
Little me, don't be scared. Little me, you can wipe your eyes. Little me, somebody will love you, and you will have everything you need. Gosh. Do you know what's funny? I just was unable to sing that song live for a long time, because it was just too real for me. You know, that just seems like a million years ago, Mike. My gosh. But yeah, those are the lyrics.
Excellent. So Michelle, there's a few questions in the chat I've just been pointed out. And I think Sabrina is the first one. She's asking, what is your favorite hymn or gospel song?
Oh, I love Total Praise. I don't know if you know that song by Richard Smallwood, but my favorite hymn is one we used to sing in Sunday school. My faith looks up to thee, thou Lamb of Calvary, Savior divine. Now hear me while I pray, take all my fear away. Oh, let me from this day be wholly thine. I just love that song.
Wow. Hand claps. Well done, Mish. Thank you. All right. Let's see. There's some other questions. Madhu's asked, do you write your own songs? Tell us about that.
I do write my own songs, because I think it's important to me to tell my own story. You know, I love Shaka Khan. I sing some Shaka Khan songs, and I sing some Whitney, and I sing some gospel songs, and that's wonderful. But I think it's also important for me to put my own expression out in this world. And I think, it's important for me to write my own songs.
Excellent.
That's part of my authenticity.
Fantastic. And then the last question is, what inspires your singing, and where do you get your words?
Oh, what inspires my singing is all sorts of things. Sometimes I sing things because I need to believe that I'm going to be all right. So I find that song, and sometimes I'm just happy, you know, and I don't want to, again, this is a part of my new normal. I don't want to get caught up in, I don't necessarily like singing the sad songs anymore, because it's not a reflection of where I am today. So I love singing happy songs and songs about going for it. And, you know, I love that song by, what's his name? Rag and Bone Man. Giant. I love that at the moment. That's like my, Giant. That's my song. So just songs that make me, that reinforce me and where I am today and what I need to tap into that day. That's what I love.
Okay. There's a question from Nevin. Do you meditate quietly to feel you're being directed along the path to be your full potential self?
I think meditation is a very big part of, again, listening to that inner voice and listening to my instincts, because people have said to me, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and why don't you sing that song, da, 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 da. And I think, well, that's not me being me authentically. So I have to make that time in my meditation to listen and check in with myself and say, what am I feeling? What's my gut telling me? What's my instinct telling me? Because I'd rather do something that's true to me than do what is the popular thing to do. Does that make sense? So yes, meditation is key. Prayer is key. Prayer.
Okay, so Madhu's also asked, how can we contact you after today's session? So as you do your GoFundMe link, please put in some socials and all of that stuff so we can keep in touch with you. So Michelle, back to your well-being strategies. Beyond prayer, meditation and singing, is there anything else you're doing to keep yourself in that state of well-being?
Self-care, self-love. What do I mean by that? Taking care of myself. I'm big on exercise. I'm big on working out. I'm big on eating well, taking care of myself, being around energy that makes me feel good, being around people. Right now, there's some names that come up on the phone, can't answer, boo, because that energy, just can't do it. Just can't do it. I'm sorry. So no, so I protect my energy. I protect my home. I protect what I listen to. I protect what I'm putting into myself, whether it's here, on my phone, food, although, you know, dark chocolate is still a thing, but yeah, self-care, self-love.
And I suppose one other question that's connected to that is around supporting your mental health. You've mentioned breathing, you've mentioned meditation, the things you protect from coming in.
Yeah.
We are fragile, as you've also said. We also have these moments where we're feeling quite dull, we're feeling under, we're feeling inactive and incapacitated.
Yeah.
How do you shift? How do you get back on track?
Do you know what? Again, I think it's about decisions that you make. So for example, this morning I put up a post, and every other day I do a workout, I ever do some weights, I run, I walk, whatever. And I'm new to this. Okay. So I'm not the fittest person probably on this feed, but I'm new to this. But what it is for me, it's like I start the morning with a tick. So I get up and I go, I'm going to go out and do this workout, as hard as it is. But it means I've started the day achieving something. I've started the day giving myself something. So I've started the day with a tick. Do you know what I mean? And what that does to my mind, to my well-being, gives me a sense of, okay, I can do this. I just need to now focus on the next tick for the day. And I give myself small things, okay, throughout the day. I have a bigger picture, but I'm a big believer in small goals, small achievable things. So I feel like I've done it. I've ticked another thing. And again, that helps me with my with my well-being. Helps me feel that sense of achievement. It helps me feel that sense of accomplishment. It helps me feel like, well done, Shell. You know, you're moving forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Michelle, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I think it's not public domain information. It's just not necessarily quite private. You mentioned, obviously, you've talked about your mum earlier on,
Yeah.
but you also look after your gran. Don't you? You spend time out of your schedule to make sure she's fine. We were talking about connecting with the elderly
Right.
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
What's that like for you to just humble and just go and serve? And tell me about that.
It is service, isn't it? So my nan, growing up, my nanny was like, she was like my rock. I didn't realize it so much at the time, but now as an adult, I realize how she was always looking out for me, and she was my protection. And actually, when I would go to visit my grandma, it was like I could be a child, because in my home, I was like, because I was the eldest, I was like the protector of the family. And I was, you know, from 11, I was washing the shirts, even though my mum had a washing machine. I don't know about some of you guys, my mum was old school. You had to wash out the collars and the cuffs before you put them in the washing machine, you know. And I would cook dinner, and I was like the second mum in my home. So when I went to my grandma's house, to my nan, I was a child, you know, and she'd say, come and watch me mix these dumplings, you know. And so we just had that connection. And there was times in my life where she would show up out of the blue, and she's just my angel. So now that she's in a place now where she needs help, she needs support, I just think I'm just doing for my nan the things that she did for me, really. And so, well, maybe it's just another excuse to go and have like cake and tea. But I take pleasure, you know, and it's been difficult because my nan still sees me as her little Michelle. So when she needs the help, and this has taught me again about pride and about being able to accept help. When she needs the help and she's in the bathroom and she needs some assistance, you know, I know it's hard for her. So I have to do my best to make her feel that she's still, do you know what I mean? She's still a woman. She's still my grandma. But I also have to say, Nan, it's okay. You know, I've got you. Relax, you know. Ooh. So, yeah. I can't hear you, Mike.
Sorry about that, schoolboy error. I think that investment in your parents and your grandparents is, you can't measure the reward or the return on investment.
No.
It's just, you will be surprised at what comes to you,
yeah,
as a result of honouring and serving and loving your parents and your grandparents. And
my grandparents are, you know, they're Windrush generation.
yeah,
They left everything they know to come to this country and build the life that we have, the opportunities that we have. So, hey, let me make my gran a cup of tea and give her some cake and her favourite coconut macaroons. That's the least I can do. Do you know what I mean?
brilliant, brilliant. Well done, Michelle. Just wanted to pick up on something. I've been alerted that there are some wonderful people who visited today for the first time by an existing cafe member. So I would love to welcome Peter, David, I'm hoping I'm saying your name right, Wango, Bola, Nevin, Ellie, etc. It's your first time for many of you. I would love to hear your feedback. Just what you thought of today's session, some of the wonderful hints and tips that Michelle has given, just hearing about her life. I mean, we could have gone into the deeper, more, you know, side and how she really aggressively came through it. But just to hear from you, Peter especially, I think I know Peter actually. It would be great if I could get some of your feedback. Feel free, it's a great and a safe space. I do know Peter, he's DJ, right? Peter, you shouldn't be shy to speak if it is the same Peter that I know, and I'm pretty sure it is Peter as the DJ.
Yeah, hi, Mike.
Hello, Peter.
Yeah, I'm in a place where I can't have my camera on, so
Oh, that's fine.
that's fine. No, but I got to say, I jumped on this morning. Sabrina told me to come and check this out, and I got to say, I'm very moved, and very inspired by listening to both yourself and Michelle and everyone else, really. So, yeah, I'm very, very impressed by what I've heard this morning.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Peter. Really good to see you again.
Yes, yes. And I do remember you. I do know you. I've met you somewhere. I can't remember
Absolutely.
where.
Docklands.
Right. No worries.
Yeah. Excellent. Nice seeing you. All right. And thank you, Sabrina, for introducing Wango. Good morning to you and welcome. Please go ahead.
I'm sorry, I won't have my camera on as well, but just to say thank you so much for this platform. I've been encouraged, I've been inspired, I've been empowered by the life of Michelle. I've been invited by Queen from Liverpool. She keeps inviting me, but because of work, sometimes I can't jump on. So today she still sent me the ID meeting and I jumped on. Thank you for this time. It's really set my mind free from a few things that have held me back. And I can say I'm going to be an ambassador to inspire other people from this platform. So I hope to join in here and there as much as I have time. God bless you, Michelle. Thank you for being bare and free to share your life with us.
You're welcome.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Mwanga. Really do appreciate that, really do. And to be an ambassador of well-being is we will provide you all the things that we can to help you in that journey. And, to become a well-being champion, we can talk offline or we can have Queen induct you. But more importantly, you're welcome and thank you for joining this session. Auntie Queen, I'm not sure if you can speak, but I'd love to hear from you this morning to see how you connected with Sister Michelle.
Wow. Sister Michelle, what can I say? I went on the YouTube yesterday. I listened to your music. I Googled you. I researched and I was saying, this woman, wow. So sis, I just want to say, may the good Lord keep on uplifting you to be an encourager for others. Most of the things that you've been talking to us about are the things that I started taking steps due to joining this Wellbeing Cafe. There are a lot of things that I've been looking down at myself, looking at this, but since I joined this cafe, I'm a different person. Wow. I've been a prayer woman, I've been meditating, but I was rushing everywhere all the time. And honestly, I want to say to you, the last 6 sessions that we've been talking about mental well-being, I was inspired and encouraged by Dr. Reverend David Soshange. We had one-on-one talk, and she opened my thinking to see me, to see myself, and to see what has been going on with me. Why have I been acting the way I'm acting? I didn't have an idea. But he didn't how can I say? He didn't, like a doctor will put a stethoscope on you and check what's wrong with you. He just asked me questions and wow, I saw myself. So Wellbeing Cafe, you don't take this for granted. There are loads of things that are happening. Everybody's been saying on a daily basis. Reiki, everyone, writing down everything. Every day I'm emptying myself. Dr. Kelly, you said to me, I need to write a book. I'm saying this today. I'm emptying myself every day on a paper. Every day. I'm taking my walks. I go to the beach every day and I sing and I shout there like a crazy person. But I feel like, you know what? God, you are doing something that has been locked. I've been locking myself in until I met these men and women who are free givers. So Michelle, thank you. I gained more from you and I'll keep on doing my best to know myself and to equip myself. Thank you, Wellbeing Cafe.
Oh, wonderful, Queen.
Yeah.
You've moved me. I love the fact that you are emptying yourself on the paper. I just love that expression. It's
Brilliant.
brilliant. Brilliant. Well done to you. Keep going. We've got a question from Nevin. It says, I've only ever heard of Michelle during lockdown when she appeared on Locked in Live, and I fell in love with her, and listening to this has really made me appreciate her for her spirit and wisdom. Sabrina, once again, introduced me to this cafe. Thank you, Nevin, and well done, Michelle. You know, you're influencing people and you don't even know. How about that? And Beatrice, you asked the question, Beatrice. I can read it for you, or you could ask it. Would you like to ask it, Beatrice? Be nice if you said it. If you can't.
Hi.
Hello, Beatrice. Morning to you. Please go ahead.
Morning.
Morning.
I just wanted to ask Michelle, you know, most times when we're growing up, there are things we look forward to, like things we really like to do and we're inspired to do them. But sometimes maybe like we don't have the opportunity, and then someone like a mentor or someone we look forward to just appears. So I was asking, during that time when we're growing up and getting to identify that singing is one of the things that you really like to do, did you have someone like a mentor in your life?
The short answer is no. I knew that I wanted to sing, but I had no idea that I could make a career from it. Do you know what I mean? That was something that people on TV did. So I didn't know that that was even something that was possible for me. But it's funny because I really think, and this again is my faith, I really believe that God gives us little glimpses of ourselves along the way. He gives us little clues, okay? And what happened was, when I was 16 years old, I was at a church. They used to have these church conferences, right? And you would buy the booklet from the church conference, and it would have in there, you know, who the speakers are going to be, and it was like a keepsake that you would have. And something must have happened during that week of this conference, because I wrote on the book, Michelle John, International Singing Superstar. And I wrote this when I was 16, not even thinking, again, this was even possible. So I must have had a glimpse of something, or a moment of light, or a moment of inspiration, or something. You know, sometimes we get this moment of bravery. But something made me write this on this book. So then fast forward to last year, me and my son, we were in the attic, and we're getting rid of old papers and getting rid of stuff, you know, having a bit of a clear out. And my son goes, "Mum, what's this?" And he found the book. This is 30 years later, and I think, oh my gosh, like, this is me. But again, along the way, I didn't embrace that was who I was. I embraced all the other information. But something in me at moments, obviously deep down, knew who I am. And I had to I would lose her. I'd have to keep digging through the mud and dig through all of the stuff and the abuse and the pain and all of that and the experiences. And then I'd get a glimpse of her again for a moment. And I'd go, okay. And then again, I'd lose her. And do you know what I mean? So does that answer the question?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Great question, Beatrice. Can I just add something onto Beatrice's question? That was when you were younger. What
Yes.
about now? Do you have a mentor that speaks into your life now?
I do. You're one of them, Mike.
Ooh,
You're one
thank
of
you.
them. And I do have a couple of guys. And what I find difficult, can I be honest, is this a safe space? Yeah. One of the things that I find difficult, and this is why it's really wonderful to see the women on here today and to hear the responses and the reactions, because what I find difficult is I've been praying for a female mentor. Okay. I have one, she's a celebrity, which is wonderful. And she checks in on me, but I mean someone that I can access freely and go, oh, I need to do this. I don't know how. Do you know what I mean? You know, Mike, sometimes I go, Mike, I'm thinking about, you know what I mean? So I'm praying for a female mentor. And what I find sometimes with us as women, especially when we have some level of success, we get like this. And we go, well, look at, well, her makeup looks good, or she looks like that, or her hair, or da-da-da. We can be so petty with each other. I'm not saying men don't do it, because men do it in their own way, okay? They do their macho thing, but we ain't got time for that today. But ladies, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? We make our skin an issue between each other. And don't get me wrong, I know society makes it an issue, but I'm saying how we are with each other, we reinforce it. Do you see what I mean? We make so many things an issue between us. Our size, who's got this fashion, she's got more views than me, she's got more likes than me. Babes, I just need your strength right now. That's all I need, sis. I need you to be able to say to me, Shell, listen, I went through that last week, girl. You're going to be all right. Girl, listen, I know that guy is making you like feel like you're nothing, but hear what I'm saying to you, sis. When you're strong enough, you're going to come. That's all we need sometimes. So I need a female mentor, and I'm sure maybe some of the ladies feel the same. So pray for me while I pray for you, ladies. Sorry, I know I took a detour there, but it's just something that is passionate for me right now. So yeah, I'm praying for my mentor to show up.
I'm sure they will. You've just announced it into the realm.
Yeah, man.
You never know who's in the room or
yes.
who can connect you with someone. And, you know, I'm going to go back to Sabrina. She's been connecting a lot more people. And I really want to say quickly and publicly, thank you, Sabrina, for all the introductions. Elaine has said she would like to thank Michelle for empowering us today. Again, was invited by Sabrina. Ellie, really enjoyed today's session. Congratulations on your breakthrough, Michelle. And she said, you know, she can listen when she can. She's visited before. Keep it going. So that's to both of us. This platform's needed, but also to you, Michelle. Keep going. And Julia, thank you again for your contributions. Yeah, Elaine says as women we need to lift up each other. And Michelle, overwhelmingly there's been a lot of support and love for your talk today. Just candid, open, honest conversation. So Michelle, what would you tell us to do as a forum with regards to managing our well-being as we go forward? For some of us, there's young children involved. For some of us, it's a family, it's a partner, it's a mum or dad or nan. It's just us as an individual with multi-complex connections and components to our well-being. What do you tell us? How do we go forward?
I would say self-care, self-love is so important. And as I said earlier, like just make it simple, like simple things. And again, one of the big things for me, and I feel different for it. I feel the benefit of it is just how I speak to myself. So that's what I would encourage you guys, is to speak to yourself with love, be loving, be kind to yourself, and look after yourself. Self-love, self-care.
So brilliant. Thank you, Michelle. That's a really good point of anchor. Self-love, self-care. And again, it's one of the subjects we talked about, loving yourself in order to love others. Very, very important. So Michelle, I want to go back to your new album.
Yay!
The Diva album. Why is it the Diva album? Tell me a bit more about your thoughts.
That's me.
That's
me. This is me embracing it's me just embracing who I am. You know, this just is my personality. This big old voice that God gave me, that's my platform. So I embrace her. Get to know me, and you'll see who I am. But that's just, it's me, and I embrace her. Simple.
So tell me a bit more about the album. What's a bit more about it? Come on.
So the album, as I said, all the songs are my own arrangements. So there are some cover songs on there that you might know, but you've never heard them done like this before. They're my own version, I've put my own expression, my own essence on it. There's a Whitney song on there. God bless you, Whitney. I love you, but there's no point me pretending to be Whitney. So let me do a Whitney song in the Michelle John way. And so that's what you get. You get Michelle John on this album. Finally! Finally!
Michelle, do you play an instrument?
I play piano enough to teach, because I'm a vocal coach, although I don't have the time to do it in the way that I would want to anymore. But that's a funny thing to say in lockdown, isn't it? I don't have the time. But yeah, I play well enough to teach, and I play 4 guitar chords. Just saying.
Okay, gets you around. So Michelle, again, it's that space between who you are versus where you're coming from.
Yes.
And I still want to highlight some of that where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because it can be played down, when I think in this platform, it'll be good to highlight it.
Yeah.
For example, you just mentioned you're a vocal coach.
Yeah.
I know you've coached household names.
Yeah.
Can you tell us some of those names? Because it gives us a perspective on your brilliance. Why to take on that title, diva.
Okay.
It can be a cap that you ought to wear.
Right. I've vocal coached Annie Lennox, Take That, Rita Ora, Girls Aloud, Westlife. Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So there's a reason why you have owned your platform. You've helped them people to become brilliant in their spaces. Yeah. And I'm pretty convinced that your album, especially it was birthed in this unprecedented season, will carry momentum. It was birthed in pain, but it's authentic.
Yes.
Everyone suffered during this lockdown.
Yes.
Authenticity has been revealed. When I spoke to you this week, you gave me a story about a tree that you observe on your walk.
Oh my gosh.
Could you just give us that as one of our closing? We've got 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'd like you to just tell me that story you told me the other day.
So there's a tree that I walk past in the morning, and I again, this is part of the meditation and the breathing and the centering and the anchoring of myself. So this tree, it's a very old tree. The tree is dead, and it's like the tree almost is like it's twisted. You can see where the bark is like twisting round, and the tree is hollow. It's dead. But out of the middle of this tree is another young tree growing through all the dead roots. There's this young tree. Is that the story you're talking about, Mike?
Yes.
And there's this young tree, and it just, I know it's cliche, but from something dead, there's this new life, something beautiful, and it's not deformed. It's not twisted in any way. It's beautiful, it's strong, and it's just growing in strength. And I just think that to me just symbolizes hope. It just symbolizes possibilities, you know, and especially in this time where everything looks like it's dying or it's dead. My career's dead, my job's dead, my finances are dead. But yet still something new can, and what I love about it is that seed found a way. It found a way to grow, even out of the straight out of death. It found a way. So guys, let's find a way. Let's find a way.
It's amazing. Someone said to me once, life is the force that resists death.
Ooh.
And so death is always around us, but life is pushing against it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm impressed with that picture, that through the middle of this wide, twisted, dead tree, new life is emerging. And so I'm saying to everyone, you know what? Some things has failed in your life, but then there can be some new shoots emerging. So don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your vision. Don't give up on your hopes and your possibilities. Make sure that you surround yourself in an environment where the law of conformity is best used.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you, Michelle, for sharing this morning. It's inspiring. We are definitely wishing you the very, very best. Please, Michelle, could you put in the chat now, give us a few minutes to connect with you. Julia.
David, can I send it to you? Because I don't know how to do it. I'm new to this Zoom thing.
All right, yeah.
Can I send it to you, David? Is that okay?
To David Chechenia, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If you can text him now.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it
He
right
might
now.
be able to do it in time. Yeah, brilliant. Let me see. There was a quick question from Julia. She said, when is your album available?
So the album is going to be available, I'll tell you the date, on the 4th of October. So right now we're in the mixing stage. We're going to be promoting it, but you can pre-order the album today. So you can go on the GoFundMe, you can put up your thing, put out your debit cards, do what you got to do. You can pre-order the album today. All right. And David's going to put that all up. I'm just getting all the information now.
Excellent. I also want to say good morning. I'm not sure if it's morning. It probably is late afternoon, actually, to Mother Maloney. Good morning to you all the way from sunny Kenya. Hey, good to see you again. Welcome back. For those of you who don't know, that's Habida's mum.
Hey!
And I think, Habida, welcome back to London, right? Are you back in England?
Yes, I am. Thank God.
Excellent, excellent. Did you have to go through another swab down your nostrils?
No, I showed the one I did before and they let me in.
Welcome back. And to everyone else who's joined us today, I just really want to say thank you again. It's been inspiring. This video will be uploaded in the next few hours. Well, let's say by tomorrow. It will be on YouTube. You can read it. There's been a lot of great nuggets in there that Michelle shared. If you want to hear that tree story again, it's there. But more importantly, please, if you can, support. And as Michelle said, if you can't, there's no love lost. But those of you who can support, please do, because it has been tough for artists. It has been tough for people in the hospitality industry. It has been tough for anything in entertainment. So, I mean, for many, if not all, it's their source of income.
Yes.
It's how they pay their mortgage. So if you have a few extra pounds and you can afford to buy this album, I strongly recommend it. It will be of great value to you. And you can hear the energy in how it was created. You can see the person who's written the stories. And if you want some of that good vibration, then it's worth buying. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Can we just end by giving Michelle some hand claps?
Hey.
Wish you the very best.
Thanks, everybody.
God bless you. All right.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Take care of yourselves, guys, and see you next Tuesday. Transformational Tuesday. Think well, live well, and be well. Have a great weekend. Take care now.